What's up guys, back in today with another reaction on the channel, and today I'll be reacting to episode 2 of Ikoku Nikki. Sorry guys, I've literally, it's like my 5th show I'm watching, I'm like span like 4 or 5 hours. But I absolutely loved, yeah, my bum hurts is what I'll say. And sat down for a long time. Yeah, I loved last episode, was my favourite premiere of the season up until that point. Probably still my favourite premiere, although I really liked the first episode of You and I Are Polar Opposites that aired today as well. So there's been a really strong start. All of them I've enjoyed. I was expecting to at least like drop 1 or 2 shows to just save my bum. But yeah, love the premise of the first episode with the daughter of our, well, she's gonna be the main character, but our main character's kind of sister's daughter. Her mum died, of course, and kind of seems like the aunt is a little bit burdened. Well, I'd say a little bit, almost tormented a bit by the image of her sister. She didn't even get along with her, but now she's got to deal with looking after her daughter, and they seem to get along really nicely. The start of last episode really looked very promising for the two in their relationship, so I can't wait to see more of that. But yeah, just a really touching premiere. Love the characters, the style was really cool, the opening was fantastic. Like, everything about the show has been amazing so far, so hopefully that continues. I suppose she got that from her mum, maybe. One of the few things probably don't get along with. Was it the opening that we watched last week? Was that in the opening there? Yeah, it was. Yeah, I remember that scene there, I think. The sausages. That's good to see from last week as well. I love the different kind of timelines. Like, don't get me wrong, it wasn't like years apart or anything, but I love the like how we kind of moved from one moment to another and then back and then to another one. Oh, they kind of link together really nicely as well. Did we see the ending last week? I don't think so. I look forward to watching that though. We didn't. Like I said, it's a bit hard to keep up to track. It's a busy season, probably the busiest season I have and probably will ever do. So she is a writer. I did assume that was the case. They tend to be like her, to be fair, don't they? They seem to have very similar kind of tendencies. Not that I have too much experience, but I played Alan Wake. He's not exactly like this, actually, to be fair. I mean, I've only played Alan Wake 1. I need to play number 2. But, I mean, you can't really tell in the first one because they're at a lodge place. But it is the stereotype. That's the first page. Out near the pyramids in Egypt in the desert. Well, start's a start. Clearly, but she minds. Would be personal. That's the thing. You now feel bad for saying that because she's so okay with it. Like, you get where she's coming from. For the week. Every day, baby. It's in the same boat. How long has it been? A week. But yeah. Kind of is. She kind of is. Must be hard for that to be sprung on you. At least it's not like a baby. Although in some cases that might be easier. I don't know. You are. Your existence. This is not the type of woman you'd expect to have a kid. So far, anyway. She can't even look after herself. Apparently not. Busted a gut. What do kids call that nowadays? Not very well. Oh, I took that wrong. Hence why I just said that. I thought she meant that she was doing that, all of that, at once, every day for the week. Like elephants. They talk like elephants. Oh, we're back in Egypt. You can tell by the music. That classic. That classic kind of you guys know when that like the memes and such were going about with like the filtered color, the soundtrack that sounds the same soundtrack for every Egyptian kind of movie. My slave. Yeah. I mean, that's an interesting thing you bring up there by saying that. She clearly isn't your average adult, is she? Like I said, she can barely look after herself, no kids, bad relationship with her well, her sister at least. That she seems too stubborn to ever get past, like a kid, like a bit of a spoiled kid. Um, and just in terms of the nature of what she does, I mean, she's got to be quite childlike to have the kind of creative imagination to write a book. I mean, it depends what kind of book you're writing. If it's like a documentary or something, of course, it's different. But I imagine she's like a creative writer, so she needs to have a bit of that kind of childish kind of wonder to her still. So that, yeah, I mean, I like how they framed her character so far. They've done a really good job of like saying who she is without like explaining, if that makes sense, like without actually like verbally telling us by just that's one of the laziest forms of getting to know a person in a movie or TV show, by the dialogue people talk about them with. I really don't like that. It's again, it's the medium of like show don't tell. Like I'm able to tell so much about her as a person just based off the images that we're seeing, not so much the words that have been spoken, and that's the best way of doing it because it sticks with you longer. If you're just reading like a bit of dialogue, it's like, okay, well, we haven't actually seen that, so I'm not gonna fully kind of take it in. Yeah, good observation. Imbao. Journal with which? Daigo's an interesting name, isn't it? Never heard that for a woman character in an anime, I don't think. Or a man, actually. I think about it. Daigo. So you might as well fucking cook it, giving us all these directions. Hmm. I think that's inevitable. They're going to pick up a few things from each other, aren't they? Hey, looks pretty damn good so far. Is that a Chinese dish? I can't say I've ever had gyoza, to be honest with you guys. I guess cute. As you said earlier. I guess it could be anything, just like wrapped in the stuff. Or an ex-boyfriend, maybe. Hmm. Quite interesting, that isn't it? I don't really know what to say about that. Interesting though. Is that something that happens to people that end up forgetting details? I mean, you're always gonna forget details of things in the past, but like that seems like something that you'd absolutely remember at least. Sorry, I don't want to miss anything. Like for me, like yeah, I can remember what my mum and my dad made me for dinner. Seems like a like to not be able to name like one thing. Definitely something like big there, right? Like I said, that one I'm usually pretty good at like connecting with things, understanding people and feelings and such. But that one is maybe you probably have to suffer like a big loss like that to understand it properly because yeah, I just to forget such like a probably the real word like simple kind of very memorable thing like your mother's like home cooked meals like anything that she would have cooked to forget exactly what is yeah, I mean of course there's something to do with her loss, but like I wonder how like yeah what parts of the brain make that happen and the reason for that and such. It's interesting. Like I said, that's one I'd be very interested in looking more into because I can't wrap my head around that. Really can't. I really needed to. Bloody hell, anything else in there? Oh, the photos. Oh god. Snatch that. Oh god. No! Get this woman off Instagram. Putting filters on people. Disastrous. You know what's also quite interesting about the scene? The outfits. What they're wearing. There's probably more meaning to it than I even realise. But how I forget the names, but the girl is wearing normal clothes. She's like a bit of an outsider to this. They're both in the same kind of fashion. Seems foreign. Do you know what? I love that. I mean, I love a cake, but just like I can't say I've ever had just like a plain cake. I think I'd love it. Like no icing or anything, just like the pure cake. No toppings or anything. Yeah, actually, good point you bring up there. The financial aspect of this. I imagine she probably gets some kind of support from like the government or something. Surely, you'd hope, especially being a writer, where maybe money can change from month to month quite dramatically. But yeah, surely she'd get some kind of financial help. You'd hope. But people will tell you it's wrong. People will say you're inhuman. Like that's just back to things, isn't it? And it's hard to not let that get to you. Like I haven't been in this exact situation, but I've felt similar to things that happened for me. Like, why don't I feel anything to this thing I should definitely be feeling an emotional response to right now? Can't even do that much. Swanky collar. Sounds interested. Not bad looking man. Damn, yeah, you know what? I love the way you put that. Shows that you actually care. Characters like your kids. And yeah, sounds like yes, sounds like she cares a lot. I mean, I always talk about this. Sorry to pause yet again, but I always talk about how I think you especially see it in a lot of I can't really bring up one example per se, but a lot of mangaka, a lot of their intentionally or unintentionally, I feel like unintentionally quite often they pour a lot of themselves into their work. Now that might sound very standard, but they pour a lot of their own stories. There's so many different types of anime and stories and characters out there, and they all vary so differently because they're all written by different people. Which again sounds just like so logical. Like, what's the point you're making here? But I love the fact that we're able to like you're really able to tell what like a manga is kind of experienced or what they've had issues with or what type of person they are, purely based off like some of the writing they've done, and some vary dramatically. Like some mangaka would do very different styles being things, but I just think of like for example like Hunter x Hunter, for example, the manga of that. I haven't watched Yu Yu Hakusho, but it seems like a very similar type of show, and probably for a reason because a lot of the same values, a lot of the same kind of experiences have led to that story being created. Where again, probably unintentionally as well as maybe intentionally, they put a lot of themselves in that. So I and they're the ones that like the ones that you can tell that's the case are usually some of the best anime. So it's surprising that this book isn't so popular because again she seems to actually really care about this stuff, probably because it's deeply connected to her. And I love stuff like that. I love music like that. That's why I don't really like too much like rap music nowadays. I don't listen to it at all. I used to love listening to like 2000s like 90 rap because you can hear and like listen to the experiences these people have had getting out of these horrible situations, and just very raw. And yeah, and that's like totally different from like a Japanese mangaka. Yeah, I love it. Almost the same. Just yeah, bit of a geek for seeing and listening to and such so many different experiences from such a variety of people. Also, they were dating. Okay. Do you want one with her? Hmm. I mean, a bit of a. You can't really be too mad at her. A very different situation than raising your own kid. She kind of keeps her victories to herself. As well as not too much telling her thoughts and such to other people. Like I said, they do a really good job at portraying just who these people are in the show, don't they? I mean, this is very common for people that have recently lost loved ones, isn't it? Well, it's subconscious, but not even subconscious, but bodily kind of healing things, isn't it? Physically towards the mental aspect, if that makes any sense. It's probably your brain trying to be like, well, we need something. So sleep, rest, heal. It's not hard to deal with. Very, very easy to deal with. You could have got someone much worse. But yeah, she clearly places a lot of importance on this, doesn't she? Just look at that line there. It's like the be all end all. Any little sentence could impact her for the rest of her life, and being walking on eggshells a bit too much in that regard, I think. But it's lovely to know that she cares that much. Is that conscious about it? You're a pretty decent guy. I'd like you to meet her as well. Wow, why'd you stop us? For a moment there. But yeah, it's like reading her life, really, isn't it? Like I said, like it's the same for a lot of manga and anime. It's essentially kind of reading these guys' lives in a extravagant way a lot of the times. But when you're really deep down, think about it and such. There's a lot to think about. I'm going home. Okay, another awesome episode. Okay, I just love the vibes of this show. It's so fucking good. Characterization is some of the best I've seen in a while. As I said earlier, just like the spoken and more so the unspoken of just how these things speak about the characters. Amazing. Okay, a lot of studios working on this. Orange Animation doing in this show. They usually do like CGI work, right? This captures the vibe perfectly as well, doesn't it? Probably said the same thing last week, but it does. But one thing I will say is I'd love to have, this isn't about the anime really, but I'd love to have the writing she does when, I'd love to have that subtitled so we could read what it says. I imagine there's some interesting stuff written down like when she's like struggling to like finish the sentence and like turn the laptop off. I'd love to actually read what the dialogue on the laptop said, because it was probably something important, I imagine. But yeah, not really an anime issue. It's more so the subtitles. But yeah, another really good episode. Like I said, look, the characterization here was brilliant. It's going to take a while to get used to the name, so apologies. But the aunt, she was a bit. We had a bit more of a focus on the daughter last week. Don't get me wrong, we had a lot on the aunt as well, but this one was much more veered on the aunt's kind of journey throughout the desert, her journey back. We're going to see now. I was going to question, like, do you reckon she's at the start of a new journey, or as with what she said at the end there, which seems to be the case, she's actually on the journey back now, which is actually so similar to the start. But yeah, like, really awesome episode. I loved the talk with the ex-boyfriend, the blonde friend that came around was really cool as well. And yeah, really fun time. Loved it again. I think this is definitely going to be one of my favourite shows of the season, inevitably. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this one in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date. Probably got another half hour sitting down, but I can finally get my ass off this seat. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching, and have a good rest of your day, guys.